Welcome to Rainbow Spotlight. Today, we bring you a heartwarming and thought-provoking story that challenges courage, integrity, and standing up for what's right. Imagine this. Jason Collins, the first openly gay athlete in a major American sports league, walks into a small diner hoping for a quiet meal. But when a customer hurls hateful remarks at him, the waiter Jamal steps in to defend only to lose his job for doing the right thing. What would you do in Jamal's shoes? And how do you think Jason Collins, known for his advocacy and compassion, reacts to this unexpected twist? Stay tuned to uncover how this story takes an inspiring turn you won't want to miss. The evening shift at Blue Bottle was usually a peaceful routine for Jamal, a 29-year-old waiter known for his warm smile and ability to make every customer feel at home. Blue Bottle, nestled in a quiet part of Berkeley, San Francisco, was a haven for the older locals who would come to sip coffee, enjoy a slice of pie, and chat about their day. For Jamal, the diner was more than just a job. It was a second home. But that night, his life was about to change in ways he could never have imagined. The jingle of the bell above the door signaled a new customer. Jamal looked up, expecting one of the regulars. Instead, his breath caught in his chest. Walking in, dressed casually in jeans and a hoodie, was Jason Collins. Yes, the Jason Collins, the first openly gay athlete in a major American sports league. Though trying to keep a low profile, his presence commanded attention. The room seemed to hold its breath as customers exchanged whispers and sideways glances. Jason's appearance was understated, yet his aura was unmistakable. Even in casual attire, he carried himself with the quiet confidence of someone who had faced immense challenges and come out stronger. To Jamal, who had followed Jason's career and admired his courage, seeing him walk into Blue Bottle felt surreal. This was someone who had stood up for his identity in a world that wasn't always kind to difference, and now he was here, in this little diner. Jamal composed himself, grabbed a menu, and approached Jason with his usual friendly demeanor. "Good evening," he said, offering a smile. "What can I get you tonight?" Jason returned the smile, his voice calm and kind. "Just a coffee, black, and a slice of whatever pie you recommend." "Coming right up," Jamal replied, his hands steady despite the excitement coursing through him. As he prepared the order, he couldn't help but notice the murmurs growing louder. While most patrons seemed curious or awestruck, one voice stood out, cutting through the chatter like a cold wind. Earl, an outspoken regular in his 60s, leaned back in his chair and scoffed. "Ain't that the basketball guy? The one who, came out?" His voice was loud enough for everyone to hear, and the tone was unmistakably critical. "Bet he's here for the attention. Probably wants everyone to clap for him." Jamal's stomach turned as he placed Jason's coffee and pie on the table. Jason thanked him with a polite nod, but didn't seem to react to Earl's words. Still, Jamal couldn't ignore the tension in the room or the injustice of the situation. Earl wasn't done. He stood and walked over to Jason's table, his arms crossed. "So, what's the deal?" he demanded. "You think you're some kind of hero just because you told the world you're gay? What have you actually done for anyone?" The diner fell silent. Jason looked up at Earl, his expression calm but firm. "I've used my platform to support LGBTQ+ youth, fund programs that promote inclusion, and speak out against bullying," he said evenly. "I try to make a difference where I can." Earl sneered. "Sounds like a lot of talk to me. People like you just want to look good in the headlines." Jamal couldn't stay silent any longer. Summoning his courage, he stepped forward. "That's not true, Earl," he said, his voice steady despite the knot in his stomach. "Jason's actions have changed lives. He's funded scholarships for LGBTQ+ students, supported mental health programs, and helped create safe spaces for kids who feel like they don't belong." Earl turned to Jamal, his eyes narrowing. "And you believe all that? How do you know he's not just doing it for show?" "Because I've seen the impact," Jamal shot back. "I've read the stories of kids who found hope because of him. He doesn't have to do any of this, but he does it because he cares. That's what real leadership looks like." The room buzzed with quiet murmurs. Some patrons looked impressed by Jamal's defense, while others exchanged skeptical glances. Earl huffed and returned to his seat, muttering under his breath. Jamal felt a momentary sense of triumph but knew the fallout was coming. Sure enough, Mr. Sullivan, the diner's owner, emerged from the kitchen, his expression grim. "Jamal, can I see you for a moment?" he asked, his tone sharp. In the back, Sullivan's voice was low but firm. "You know the rules. We don't argue with customers, especially not regulars like Earl. He's been coming here for years. If he's upset, we lose his business." Jamal stared at him, incredulous. "You're firing me for standing up for someone?" "It's not personal," Sullivan replied. "But this is a business, not a soapbox. I'll give you a few days to transition out." Jamal's heart sank, but he refused to break in front of Sullivan. Gathering his belongings, he passed by Jason, who had been watching the exchange with a look of regret. "I'm sorry this happened," Jason said quietly. "Thank you for standing up for me. It meant a lot." Jamal managed a weak smile. "Someone had to." The next morning, Jamal returned to the diner one last time to collect his paycheck. As he walked in, he noticed a sleek black SUV parked outside. Inside, the usual chatter was replaced by an uneasy silence. Jason Collins was seated in a booth, his presence commanding attention. "Jamal," Jason said, standing as Jamal entered. "Can we talk?" Jamal nodded, following him to the booth. Jason's voice was warm but serious. "You stood up for me when you didn't have to. That took courage, and it showed me the kind of person you are, someone who fights for what's right, no matter the cost." Jamal tilted his head, unsure where this was going. "Why are you here?" Jason smiled. "I run an organization that advocates for LGBTQ+ rights and supports initiatives for inclusion and equality. We're looking for people with heart and passion to join the team. People like you." Jamal's eyes widened. "Are you serious?" "Completely," Jason replied. "This isn't waiting tables. It's a chance to make a real difference." Tears welled in Jamal's eyes as he nodded. "Yes, absolutely, yes." The regulars watched in stunned silence as Jason shook Jamal's hand and left the diner. Mr. Sullivan handed Jamal his paycheck with a reluctant apology. "Maybe I was too harsh," he muttered. Jamal met his gaze steadily. "You taught me something valuable," he said. "Sometimes doing the right thing is worth more than keeping a job." In the weeks that followed, Jamal joined Jason's team, traveling to communities in need and working to create a world where everyone felt seen and valued. He had lost his job at Blue Bottle but gained a life filled with purpose. That one night, that one act of courage had changed everything. Jamal's new role brought him face to face with countless individuals whose lives were deeply impacted by Jason's work. From organizing events to raise awareness about LGBTQ+ issues, to mentoring youth who struggled to find acceptance, Jamal found himself thriving in a way he never thought possible. He traveled to schools and community centers, sharing his story and inspiring others to stand up for what they believed in, no matter the odds. One such event took Jamal to a high school where he met a young student named Alex. Alex, a quiet teenager who had recently come out, was struggling with bullying and isolation. Jamal spent hours talking to Alex, sharing his own journey and the lessons he'd learned from people like Jason. By the end of the day, Alex was smiling, his confidence visibly growing. Moments like these made Jamal realize the profound impact of his new work. Looking back, Jamal realized that losing his job at the diner was not the end but the beginning of a new chapter, one that allowed him to truly make a difference. Jason's belief in him had not only changed his life, but had also given him the courage to be a voice for those who couldn't always speak for themselves. And for that, he would always be grateful. As months passed, Jamal's role in Jason's organization grew. He became a leader in planning outreach programs, coordinating efforts with schools, and organizing fundraising events. The work was challenging but fulfilling, and each day reinforced his belief in the importance of standing up for what was right. Jamal often thought about that night at the diner, how a single act of courage had set him on this path. It reminded him that even the smallest actions could ripple outward, creating waves of change. Thank you for watching Rainbow Spotlight. This story reminds us of the incredible power of standing up for what is right, even when it comes at a personal cost. Jamal's courage to defend Jason Collins highlights the importance of allyship and speaking out against injustice, no matter how daunting the situation. And Jason's response shows us the profound impact of gratitude and action in creating change. Life often puts us in situations where doing the right thing feels risky, but stories like these prove that integrity and kindness can lead to unexpected opportunities and a brighter future. So what would you have done in Jamal's place? Do you believe courage always pays off? Do not forget to like, share, and comment your thoughts below. Subscribe to Rainbow Spotlight for more inspiring stories and uplifting moments that shine a light on humanity and hope. See you next time!